Hey, what's going on everybody? Doki the Dingus aka Wagon Fruit here, and welcome back to Doki the Uncut. This time we have another quality mock session, building session, because this is more fun for me when I get to talk out loud and make a video out of it while I build. Because building gets draining sometimes. Anyway, as you can see over on the right, we have the next matchup for John Jr. in the BUBL. Unfortunately, last week didn't go as well, but we're going to try to redeem ourselves with our game against Vandy. Vandy has an interesting team. A bunch of early, like, mid-tier value, which is kind of interesting. Round 2 metagross is not usually what you see. That's like something that you might see me do when I'm just trying to experiment. But none of these pieces are, like, not that quality. I think Porygon 2 is like a little bit weird, but with Terra it's definitely more viable. Shaman's a little bit weird. Alolan Muck is kind of weird this gen, doesn't really do very much. Though it does do something versus the one mon that John got round 1, which is Dio Speed. Against most other top tier threats, it's kind of an awkward position, but that's generally a good sign for Vandy, unfortunately. So, let's see. This is my first time looking at the matchup, so Garchomp, I mean, ground plus dragon just stabs does quite well, except for into an Amorous, which hard walls our stabs, but we can hit it with a Stone Edge. So offensive Garchomp might not be too bad, just might require a bit of prediction. Metagross, John might dedicate one of Swampert or Archaludon to that guy. Who would he be more inclined to dedicate to Metagross? That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Archaludon because Swampert is good against like Ice Beam Swampert could be good against Garchomp and just generally good against Talonflame, and if he gets burned versus Talonflame, he can't really deal with Metagross. Like a policy set would fuck him up. But Arch gets Dark Pulse, so he could totally do it if he's like Sugar Berry, which he might want to do anyway. Thundy wants T-Bolt, of course. Well, T-Bolt actually hits like nothing apart from top 2. Needs Focus Blast for Arch, needs Psychic for Hands, Grass Knot for Pert. Still can't really hit the Ogerpon. It's a lot of moves this guy needs. Might want to do a more utility set if it's brought. Or just needs Terra, right? Because Terra, you could probably just Terra Ice versus John's team. And because John just doesn't have an Ice Resist at the moment. We're looking to make changes soon. Into something that I originally wanted to do was get Tentacruel, which is get Tentacruel as a spinner instead of Cyclizar, because Tentacruel usually covers what Archaludon makes you need to overcompensate for. But John went in a different direction, as you can see. So yeah, Thundy's a little weird. Might require Terra, but if it does use Terra, it does look kind of good. It just might need to be like a weird like specs thing, because like I don't see you fitting all the coverage moves that you realistically need if you want to convincingly break through, right? So it's a little weird. I mean, if he can justify just spamming Terra Ice, Terra Blast, then maybe he could even drop Electric move, but or She. Yeah, Vandy's a She, right? Yeah, and then Prim looks offensively very good, as Prim usually does. There's just a Muck in the way, but that's our only Fairy Resist, of course. Yeah, literally nothing else can take a Moonblast, especially if the Arch is dedicating itself to Metagross. So that might be reason for John to bring the Ogerpon. The good thing about that interaction is if the Moonblast gets a special attack drop, then Defiant activates. And then like you catch Talonflame on a Rock Tomb, and now Ogerpon's kind of demonic. So that could be kind of cool, actually. might be a reason to bring Ogerpon. Because I mean, we need something for Prim. The other alternative, of course, is the Muck, and Muck looks quite mediocre. I mean, yeah, because like the Chomp is genuinely offensively threatening. It's just that, the stabs are hardballed by Enamorus. But one good prediction, and Garchomp is a menace. So that might be a reason to bring Ogerpon. I think Ogerpon doing better into Chomp and worse into Talonflame, which we don't totally care about immediately, is kind of makes it more worth it. Maybe we could just do like a fat, like Spadef-ish set with Synthesis. Spikes could be good into us. If John can make this Enamorus contrary, then the only removal is Defog, and then defogging into an Enamorus is obviously a death sentence sometimes. So yeah, I'm thinking a Spikes Ogerpon from John could be quite good. Our Porygon 2 looks like one of the best Enamorus checks. I'm thinking that the Enamorus will try to cover for Talonflame plus Porygon 2, and Porygon 2 can click T-Wave, so like the obvious first thing you think of is Terra Electric. Terra Ground would also work-ish for P2, but it would keep it weak to Ice Beam, so I think Terra Electric just makes more sense. Also does well into Thundy. Doesn't do as well into Chomp though. If he goes Terra Electric, which I think is like very tempting, I think Garchomp offensively at least becomes a problem. The only thing is Garchomp underspeeds Enamorus. So what I could try to do as Vandy to beat Enamorus is run a defensive Porygon 2, and then if they go Terra Electric, I teleport out into Scarf Garchomp. So I think that's a way I can take this. Annihilate spin blocks it, of course, but I think expecting to Spikes with Garchomp here is a bit... It's risky versus like everything, right? Like Dio can Ice Beam, and Enamorus is obviously very good base into Garchomp. Arch can Draco and live in Earthquake. Hands can even Ice Punch if it's willing to sacrifice itself, or it's Shukaberry. Pert can Ice Move. Ogerpon outspeeds and can taunt. Cyclozar hits super effectively. It looks like Garchomp will have a really hard time getting Spikes up here. So the spin blocking aspect of Annihilate is actually not really what I'm looking for here. I might go for a more offensive approach with him if I bring him. Which is like, it's fine into John. CC is good into 5 out of 9 Pokemon. And Rage Fist kind of will always cover the other side. But yeah, it might need even like Ice Punch coverage for the Enamorus, and Ice obviously hits the entire team. So worth thinking about. Could be an Arch check. We'll see. Actually, it's a very good Arch check. I might use that as an Arch check. Muck, of course, deals with Dio, which is cool. It also just has a good Spadef stat, so it could annoy Enamorus since it hits super effectively with Poison Jab. So Muck could totally be a bring here. I have a lot of options. And then Shaman is also unironically not horrible because the Flying type doesn't get Flying Stab unless they Terra Flying. There's no Fire. There's no Bug, but there is like 1 U-turn Mon, 2 U-turn Mons. It's generally not too easy to break through. So lots of options. Lots of options. Komala actually missed was Vandy's other spinner. But I don't think Komala is worth bringing ever into Arch hands. Seems not worth it ever. Okay. Let's see here. How do I want to take this? I do need to deal with this Enamorus somehow, and the Porygon 2 into Scarf Garchomp thing is a viable way I can go about it. I want to think about how to win, though. Scarf Garchomp could be a win condition, potentially, with Earthquake. So this isn't like a terrible idea. I'm not really too sure where to go from there, though. It's a little bit weird. I do need to figure out what I'm going to do to check hands, because I genuinely don't really have a way to do that at the moment. I could try to use Annihilate as like just a general resource versus hands / arch, and like carry Encore for Swords Dance hands is like potentially viable. Very interesting, very interesting. I don't really see a bulk up Annihilate ever winning here. Like, not with those top two, right? So I think a more like in the middle set does make some sense. So yeah, I might need that as just a general defensive resource. So it would be Garchomp. He could also be my rocker, because I don't know if I might use like an agility policy Metagross. I'm not sure yet, but being a general like check to things and like mid game guy could make Annihilate a nice rocker. Is there just any way I can hope to, like any other way I could hope to check the Enamorus? There's the Primarina, right? But if I'm expecting Terra Electric, then it doesn't work. I will just get blown up. Oop, message. Yeah, and like I would love to be able to use Primarina more offensively. So I think I will go Porygon 2 into Annihilate. These two are an interesting defensive core. I'm not sure what Terra I'm going to put on the Porygon 2 yet. The other goofy thing I could think about doing is putting Terra Ground on my Porygon 2. And then I don't even need Scarf Garchomp. I would just be able to check the Enamorus with Porygon 2. Just with Terra Blast plus Ice Beam. Like... but I would need T-Wave, and then I can't fit Teleport. So, yeah, it would be like Terra Blast Ground, obviously Eviolite. Trace. Does that do anything for me? Let me see Enamorus' base stats. Okay, download would give me physical attack. That's not good. Analytic might be better. There are some things that Porygon 2 might be slower than, or faster than, rather, so I'm not sure. Maybe Trace is good. I'm not sure. Trace could... I mean, giving me Contrary doesn't do anything. The only thing it might do is, like, if he Moonblasts my Porygon 2, then I get a special attack boost. But it's all very... it's just, like, generally helpful, I guess, to be able to not care about the dropping secondary effects. So it'd be Terra Blast Ground, Ice Beam, Recover, Thunder Wave. And that would attempt to deal with any Enamorus set. Of course, he could Terra Stellar me, but I think even with Terra Stellar versus a Terra Porygon 2, it wouldn't do enough. I also just don't need a Terra Ground versus a Terra Stellar Enamorus. So there's that. But like, if I expect that it could be a superpower Enamorus, then I might actually need to. So this is an interesting Porygon 2. It does make me weaker to Swampert and Ogerpon. Am I okay with that? There might be some builds where I am. This is interesting, because Ground plus Ice obviously is very good, but the fact that John doesn't have an Ice Resist makes Porygon 2 genuinely like a scary offensive threat. Over time, at least. Especially like if he's Assault Vest hands, now I just have a super effective Terra Blast on him. This is interesting. This is super interesting. What other Porygon 2 set would I want? Like, what's a good defensive typing into John? It's hard to say. Well, I know that John won't be carrying Heavy Slam in this matchup, so that does make Fairy a little bit better, but I'll still lose to Muck. And Arch... Will Arch have a Steel move? It might for the Prim. Just because... Like, he might go, like, Power Herb Electro Shot too, though. And then I, once again, don't care. Fairy's interesting. Yeah, I mean, John just doesn't have good Fairy answers in general, so this is, like, Terra Fairy would be pretty obvious. Yeah. What else could Porygon 2 do? There are some cases where I would like default into Terra Ghost versus John, but this is not one of those times because I don't want Porygon 2 getting its Eviolite knocked off, so I wouldn't really have it switching into Cyclozar ever. I also just don't really plan on stacking him in this time. Probably just rocks from like Annihilate or Metagross. So Ghost doesn't really have any value to me. Is there anything better than Fairy here? I don't know. Because Fairy does resist Superpower too, so it does make that kind of Enamous's life hard. At least a little bit. What else resists Superpower? Poison? Does Poison make sense? No, there's a Dio. I mean, I would switch her out against Dio anyway because it could have knockoff. But this is also, it would also be weaker to Swampert, right? Where I already don't have like the most fantastic Swampert answers. This is also weaker to Swampert, but this is like a one mon Enamorous answer, which is important. All right, do we already split it up, split up the teams, and make two? I usually get to this like a little bit later, but it's kind of become habit where I just make two. So this one has a. This one will actually be the ground Porygon 2. Eviolite, Trace, Terra Blast, Ice Beam, Recover, Thunder Wave. Oops, not Thunder. Thunder Wave. And we'll save that one for later. I'm not really sure how to go about that one yet. And this one will be the Terra Fairy one. Not. Ooh, it could still be Terra Blast, right? Because he's weak to Fairy generally. But this one wants to carry Teleport, right? So that it can cover the Electric Enamorous. But I still want to carry Thunder Wave in case he's anything else, right? We want to be able to answer every Enamorous. So maybe we don't carry Terra Blast. It does suck a little bit because Terra Blast is so free into this team. Do we not carry Ice Beam? Is that ever a thing? It probably is. It probably is a thing. What other Enamorous could he be? I think Stellar is kind of always an option, but here I don't know. I don't really see it because you definitely don't need Stellar to break through a Thundurus, and Porygon 2 probably doesn't care either way whether or not you're Stellar. It would probably prefer that you're not immune to Thunder Wave or switching into a type that isn't weak to Ice Beam. What else could he be? Electric is just so obvious, right? Maybe Ghost isn't out of the question. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any. This is an old muck too, though. It seems like there's not really going to be a Terra type for him that like makes me want to keep Ice Beam. Like, what would those Terra types even be? Dragon. Dragon doesn't make sense. There's a Prim. Prim is too scary. Flying could be something, but he still would underspeed the Thunderous and still be weak to it. So at that point, you probably would just want to be Terra Stellar. And I'm not like too worried about Terra Flying. I think maybe I'll regret saying that. We'll see. Terra Grass stays resisting Earthquake, not weak to Stone Edge. Resists Electric. Still hits the Prim. But again, I don't really know if I care. Like for P2, I think I will actually take off Ice Beam for Teleport here, because in case. Oh, it doesn't get it. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, that makes my life really easy, actually. Okay, that sucks. Okay. So what do I do about like an Electric Enam? How do I get to Chomp? Oh wow. How do I get to Chomp? Does that make this like less viable somehow? That's insane. That's so interesting. So this isn't Teleport. Okay. Should Vandy just be ground Porygon 2 then? That's so weird. Well, we can then rethink the Garchomp if we're just gonna run ground Porygon 2. That's so interesting. I mean, ground Porygon 2 looks great. I mean, we just need to be able to answer the Ogerpon and the Swampert. But if we can do that, it's chill. I don't necessarily want to bring Shaman though. It's not terrible, I guess. Damn, Vandy's team is weird. Okay. Let's just imagine, like, all right, we just have this Porygon 2. I think this is very valid. It kind of can beat any Enamorus with the right spread here, as well, as long as we're not like chipped down, which he could do by getting hazards up and then using a Nam to threaten me clicking to Fog with Talonflame. So at the moment, hazards are kind of the biggest issue, along with like later on being able to deal with Swampert and Ogerpon. So this might lead me to make John run just Terra Electric, like Assault Vest Enam, and then yeah, like Terra Electric, Assault Vest Enam, and then just stack, and then the Enam will have Contrary as well. Maybe. The only thing is, like, if non-electric Enam is switching into a Brave Bird from Talonflame, that will hurt really bad. We also don't have Healing Wish available for John, so we can't really get that back. But yeah, in general, I think that is a good start. The Assault Vest Terra Electric Enam into Hazard Stack looks good. Don't really know how I'm going to beat that just yet. But we have the enam check. We just need to deal with Dio hazards. Yeah. Okay. This one looks kind of good for John as long as he preps correctly. Yeah, we do want to have that defensive core, I think, between Boreon 2 and Annihilate. I think this just goes well together. John doesn't have any sleep stuff, right? So he has Yawn Pert, I guess. But surely Defiant is just better. Inner Focus, no. John does like Yawn Pert. Fun fact about him. He does like that. It's the only thing that can put me asleep, though. Aside from that, getting like a secondary drop from like Moonblaster, Flash Cannon could get me a Defiant Raise. Pert Liquidation. Breaking Swipe Psychozar, which he's already brought. Well, let's just do Defiant for now and deal with the repercussions of Swampert later. Do we want like an Assault? I don't think we want an Assault Vest. We kind of want this to be rocks, right? It's kind of our best rocker here because Garchomp has trouble doing it. Metagross doesn't have the worst time, I guess. Very hard to predict how Vandy's gonna try to build with this. We do want Encore for the hands at least, and we want some kind of fighting move. I think Drain Punch is valid. We could consider Close Combat too, but I think Drain Punch is kind of just better for all the fat that John has. Rage Fist is chill, so is Ice Punch. For the Enamorous, Shadow Claw. I kind of always forget this thing is Shadow Claw. So like what I'm looking at right now for the Annihilate is just this set. Just this. Which is fine. I don't know if it's the best. It's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. This would kind of handle both Arch and who's it? Hands. This is fine. It's just whether or not I actually think that the Annihilate should be carrying rocks. I think it's quite fair. I do like Helmet. I think I like that no matter what for the hands. Encore for the hands. Drain Punch is always good. Rage Fist is always good secondary. It's just like, do I want this thing to be rocking? Or do I want Metagross to be rocking? But I don't know if Metagross is a great rocker here. Because again, I am expecting kind of a Taunt Ogerpon. And then like, what else does it really set up on? The Arch will probably carry Dark Pulse. The Enamorous, you probably want to be hitting that if it's in front of you. Hands, kind of same deal. Swampert, you kind of have to switch out, and then Dio could also be Taunt, but Dio doesn't really want to stay in on Knockoff or Heavy Slam, so maybe it's fine versus Dio. It's just that Dio can also get its own stuff up, right? And Dio could really be anything, so I don't really know if it's going to be a threat to Metagross or not. But I'd like to keep it safer if possible, because like agility policy Metagross does look good here as an endgame guy. We just gotta chip the Pert a little bit and then just look at it, right? Just stabs Earthquake for the Arch. And it looks quite good. Just gotta not get Shadow Sneaked by Dustour, I guess. And also have to not get too chipped by the hazards. So hazards are a real problem here. I just like, if I can, I would want to avoid using defog just versus John in general. I know Jason in week 1 did it and didn't get punished for it because John went arch. But like, it would be so bad. Like either defogging into the Enamorous coming in or defogging into Ogerpon, which is in on me, which like I assume that it's safe, and then he gets a Defiant boost in Rock Tombs, and then I die, and then I can't deal with Ogerpon after that. Because the only other thing on the roster faster than Ogerpon is Thunderous. And it needs like Sludge Bomb or Terra Blast Ice, and that means I can't Terra Blast with my Porygon too. So defogging is scary. I would have to be really safe about it, but it's not off the table either. Komala, I'm not even gonna really consider. I know it can spin, and I know the Duststorm probably wouldn't come, but it's also not off the table either. And just in general, Komala matches up really poorly into a lot. Arch, Hands, Pert. I guess it can Woodhammer Pert, but it's just not physically bulky enough, and John's got a lot of good physical pressure. So it really would just be up to Talonflame. So yeah, in general, Vandy's going to be quite weak to hazards. I'm probably going to make John do a hazard-focused game plan. I don't really know. Because, like, assuming that the Enamorous is Terra Electric, and it's like, there's a Pert in the back, so you don't want to click Flare Blitz, like, you could totally just switch into Enamorous on an obvious defog, like a Terra Electric Enamorous on an obvious defog, and destroy this team. Like, he could totally just miss his moves. Maybe you just need Analytic just in case. It's tough. It's tough. I'll look into this again later. But yeah, it's tough. I might need to take that risk with Talonflame, because I don't know. I don't know how else you can do this. And if I'm gonna be using Metagross as a late game sweeper, then I won't really have an Ogerpon resource either. So kind of need Talonflame anyway. And I think Boots. It's got to be Defog, right? Kind of has to be. U-turn. How's Roost here? Is Roost really doing much for Talonflame? It's not going to wall anything. It's going to take too much from everything, I think. I don't think Roost is going to come up, actually. So maybe I just don't do it, and I run... I mean... I could be like Brave Bird Will-Wisp. That wouldn't be too bad. I could just be Stabs as well. I might come back to this, but we have the idea. So we have our Ogerpon answer. We have a mid-game Hands and mid-game Arch check in this guy, and kind of this guy too, for the Arch at least. And this is also the dedicated Enamorous check. And these two can realistically make progress quite well. I need a win condition. It probably will be Metagross. There's also Prim, which I haven't yet considered. So it might just be top 6 from Vandy, no Thundy, and Annihilate instead. But that would exclude the Alolan Muck, which is definitely not bad here and might be needed for the Dio. So maybe there's like a universe where Garchomp also drops. but that seems less likely, I guess. It's a little tough to call, but like there's decent reason to not like want to bring the chomp here. Like, first of all, it requires prediction. Second of all, John does have a check in Swampert, which Vandy has trouble with. Third, Taunt Ogre Pawn can kind of shut it down with Synthesis. And fourth, you need to slot everything you need. It might come down to how much do you respect Deoxys, which I think you should. And that would lead you to bring the Muck. I would not have fantastic speed resources though. High key. It would be risky. It'd be very risky. Tough. Not bringing Prim just seems so silly. That seems so silly. I think that could be a valid 6. I think Thundy is just a bit bad here. And the fact that I want John to bring an Electric Enam will add to it, so I don't really think that me not bringing it will ever be a problem, even if Vandy does end up bringing it. It's just that I don't know if Chomp isn't coming, because Chomp is Chomp. It realistically is not even close to useless here, it's just, can you fit it? Maybe Muck is a problem if I'm relying on Prim for damage, and that means that I want Chomp. But then who would I drop? Because I need some kind of Dio check, and that would want to be Muck. And I think not bringing Metagross in a matchup where it's so offensively good and has so much opportunity for an agility is foolish. It also, the Metagross with the policy could technically come in on Muck and then get an agility after it swaps in. It's just riskier. It's just riskier. I need some kind of Dio answer. Can I answer Dio without Muck? I feel like the answer is just no. Like, there's no good pivot to Dio without Muck. So I do think I want Muck. I don't think I ever want to be going hard Metagross on Dio, unless I bring a bulkier, like just a mid-game Metagross, but I'm kind of already doing mid-game everything. Like, where's my win condition, you know? I need something. Metagross is good as a win condition here. Nothing else really is. Scarf Prim doesn't really do it because it underspeeds Dio. Makalula. I think I should bring this. Like, what matchup are you bringing Muckalola to if not the Dio Speed matchup, you know? Like, you drafted for Dio Speed. Surely Vandy will bring it. Always want knockoff on this guy. Too valuable of a click on Poison Touch. Gluttony is the other one. There's no sticky hold on this guy, so it might just stick with Poison Touch Boots. I think that's pretty valid. Is there any reason to go Gluttony? I think the sheer amount of ways I can get knocked off here is making me want to just go Poison Touch Boots. So I'm just going to do that. Knock off. I could want Drain Punch again for the Arch. Is Toxic Protect good for the Pert, maybe? I don't want to get walled by by a sub Enamorous though either, so I do want a Poison move. It would generally just be helpful anyway. So I'll go Poison Jab. Poison Jab, Poison Touch is broken. How much Pain Split? That's kind of cool, huh? I think Arch is like generally a good initial answer to Muck, so I'm not sure if I want to rely on Toxic. I could just click Knockoff over and over, like it's totally fine. It's just at a certain point, Pert will get annoying, I think. And Giga Drain realistically shouldn't be the way to go. I'm just looking for anything I could do to annoy Swampert here. I could do Pain Split, like Drain Punch Pain Split or something, but that seems a little weird. Sneak could be cool too. So maybe I just do Drain Punch Sneak and just be fine. What is my Swampert answer though? I need something. Is it like Balloon Prim or some bullshit? That seems goofy. It helps with absolutely nothing else. What is my Swampert answer? Because I'm a Terra Ground Porygon too. Like, Swampert's gonna be a problem. I don't want to bring Shaman. Do I have to somehow? Because Prim can deal with Swampert. It just doesn't appreciate the Earthquake. And my last mon on this was going to be Metagross. I don't really have a good way of switching into Earthquake because Talonflame obviously doesn't want to switch into Pert. Oops. This is a more balanced team, so letting it in over and over would really suck. Pert is also just generally a huge issue because it is a rock setter and hazards are kind of the way I want him to go. But I will say I am rock resist Terra type Porygon 2, rock resist Annihilape, Boots Talon, and Boots Muck right now. And I'm going to have a rock resistant Metagross as well. So maybe I don't care about rocks all that much as long as I don't let stuff get knocked. Like my Talonflame. But it's kind of hard to score a knockoff on Talonflame unless you're doing it with Ogerpon, not with Swampert, because I'm never going to go Talonflame with Swampert. So maybe I can go Shaman. This just seems like a weak team, you know? I need some kind of Pert answer. This is tough. This is tough. I don't want to drop Prim. Prim is kind of too good. Fairy, just in general, is just kind of just too good versus John. Yikes. How does Vandy approach this? This is so weird. This is tough. Because you regardless, you don't want to go Porygon 2 on Swampert. Even if I'm like a different kind of Terra, because number one, he can knock off the Eviolite. And number two, I really need Porygon 2 for the Enamorous, or I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. Shaman would like solve this issue. It's just that it's a Shaman. Like, it feels so dumb to not bring Garchomp, not bring Thundy, and not bring Primarina in favor of all these shitters. You know, I'm playing mid tier right now. What's going on? It's so weird. I would love to be able to fit Prim on this. Even if it means like I can't fit Chomp, I would be fine as long as I fit Prim. Like, in theory, I think that like a Shaman and then Policy, Agility, Metagross, like this could work. It just, this feels weak. It looks weak. So maybe I'll be satisfied in bringing something like this to a mock if I have another paste that uses Prim. But like, if I put Prim over the Shaman, I'm not going to have an Earthquake switch in. Straight up. Like, the other option, I guess, would be a Thundy with Grass Knot, but Thundy has so much move slot syndrome, and it's kind of fodder for the Enamorus, even if it can fit all the coverage it needs. So it is tough. It is tough. Very, very tough. I think I should think about how I'm winning this game. Because, like, is Policy, Agility, Metagross the best way to win? The answer could be yes. Straight up, it could be yes. I don't really know what else, because Thundy is obviously having problems. And Terraing Thundy is risky because I don't have Terra on my Porygon 2, which in base is weak to Superpower and Drain Punch and Body Press. So not Terraing it at least into something for Enamorus feels bad. Prim isn't really a win condition. Like, you could, because I think that the Ogerpon's good here, and I think John should bring the Ogerpon, so that makes Prim not really have any win condition sets. Scarf, Moonblast maybe could, but it does underspeed the Dio. Like, that just seems mediocre. Very mediocre. Talonflame could like attempt some Swords Dance garbage, but it can't like realistically break through most of this team, and it does absolutely get revenged by Dio, more so than Prim does, because Prim might actually not die to a Psycho Boost. I was gonna say Photon Geyser. I can also like kind of expect the Cyclizar to not outspeed Scarf Prim, maybe, because he might just creep the Thunderous. But Dio is the problem. Maybe because I would pack in a Alolan Muck, I don't care as much about Dio. It's just, if I'm letting hazards up, then Prim will be getting chipped over time for sure. And like, even with like a Prim win condition, a Scarf Prim like progress making win condition, I still need all those stuff I was doing on the other one. So like Primarina, let's just build around this. Choice Scarf. Oops, choice Scarf. And we have the Muck to fuck off Dio and just have this spam Moonblast till the end of time. I still need because this can't be switching into Arch ever. I still need an Arch check. Still need the Hands check. It would be Annihilate, I think. Still need the Enamorous check. That'd be Porygon 2. Still need a ground switch in. So that might have to be Shaman. And then I need a Talonflame for removal. So it would just be over the Metagross. But not bringing Metagross? That seems so stupid. Like, couldn't you just argue that Metagross is a better win condition than Scarf Prim? Or is that just wrong? Maybe it's just wrong. I don't know. Because Psychic is very, very spammable into John. I don't really know if it's like... I would love to be able to fit both Metagross and Prim on the same pace, because both of them fundamentally and in actuality are very strong into John's team. It's just slotting issues. And like the way that you could try to circumvent that is by running a more hyper offensive build, but Vandy doesn't really have the tools for that. Not really. Because I don't know. I could try that. I still need the check to arch. Is like the pert is the main problem, because if Primarine is Scarf and Metagross is also my win condition, pert becomes a big problem. I need to chip it, and it being on the field's good, but I still need to be able to survive through that, you know? Yikes, man. It's tough, it's tough. It's tough. Okay. So, like, is Shaman my only way to check the Swampert? Or at least take an Earthquake? I don't think that I can be like, I'm gonna go Thundy on Swampert. Maybe I could. But that seems unbelievably risky. And also not like all that valuable, because Thundy once again has slotting issues. You would need Grass Knot for the pert. I guess you could like argue that you don't need Psychic for the hands or anything if you just have a little bit of extra cover. Like Grass Knot like could be maybe be enough. You'd need Grass Knot. Oops. You'd need Grass Knot. You would need Focus Blast for the arch, or you are hard walled. You need either Sludge Bomb or U-turn for the Ogre Pawn. Which, like, I think at that point you just go U-turn, because I think this should be a more specially defensive Synthesis Ogre. I don't think you're going to break through it with Sludge Bomb. Like, you could poison it, but I don't know. Sludge Bomb is also, like, not very useful if we have an electric move, which I could try to fit last year. I guess this works, right? Pivoting into Ogre from Thundy is also a bit of an issue, because if he like uses a mid-ground Rock Tomb between Thundy and Talonflame, then who am I safely? Like, I have to pivot into Muck and use up some health for the Dio, maybe, and then like double out into Talonflame. So U-turn does actually bring up some complications in lines. So maybe Sludge Bomb is the wave. This would certainly have to be Boots, right? Prankster. I guess you could do Sludge Bomb Volt Switch. Right. Staying in on Ogre is like Dundee just has so many problems, you know. I mean, I think that the Ogre pawn, what I think it should be is Ivy Cudgel, Synthesis, he could spike with Dio, but he could spike with this too, and then be Rock Tomb. But this could also be like knockoff or U-turn, and then the Dio be spikes, which definitely makes sense to me. I think he should do that. It can't ever really hit the muck. It's just that it can't be knocking off the boots, and then I just get destroyed by the hazards. Not that I really have a knock sync, like, ugh. Like, would I be staying in with Thunderous on the Ogre pawn every time? If he Rock Tombs me, then what? Right? I have to go Muck and then pivot to Talon. Ogre pawn's a problem, bro. He should bring this. Nothing on the bench would really help either. Maybe we should just build something for John right now. I mean, I could just like, while I'm doing this, just like put a like what I'm expecting: Assault Vest, Terra Electric, and this would be Ogre Pawn, and I think you bring Swampert, and Iron Hands looks quite good overall. These are the main three that are like really problematic. Dio for sure, right? Then John needs some bulk in his life, right? Probably needs the hands more than he does the arch because of the Thunderous. Well, he has Assault Vest, AV, and Amorous. Dude, this plays the game for him. It's crazy. Maybe he just needs. No, it's not. He doesn't need Cyclezar. He only does spin block him, to be fair. Maybe just go Arch Hands and just be like, fuck it. But Dust Noir is also good, straight up, and Muck is obviously his fairy resist. I just don't know if you need the Muck here because Prim could be kept in check by Spadef Ogre. Anyway. Yeah. This just seems so mid, man. So mid. Dude, I've been going for an hour. I'm not even close to done with one. Yikes, bro. This is something. This is something at least. It's just the prim is so hard to make work. I wish it was like doable. It just doesn't look doable. It's like so close to doable. I just don't think Vandy has the tools for a hyper offensive mode, or just like an offensive enough mode to actually get past the hazard game without defog Talonflame. Like she can't do it fast enough. Yeah, and like you need the DO answer. You need the mid game fat guy checks. You need the enam answer. You need the defog. You need the pert switch in. And this is the win condition. Whatever the slot is the win condition, whether it's Primarina or Metagross. And I do think that Metagross does it better. It's tough. It's tough. Because, like, as much as John doesn't have a fairy switch in, he also doesn't have a dark type. And Psychic Fangs is so free into all but 2 of his Pokemon. And one of those Pokemon is a Deoxys Speed that gets blown up by Heavy Slam. And the other's Arch. So let's just finish this up. Let's just finish up this, and I'll try to mock him with this and see how it goes. We probably want a Rocky Helmet Shaman because the idea is get Metagross to win. So we want to... That's not the right Pokemon. This needs to be weakness policy. This wants to be Rocky Helmet. Because the idea, even though Shaman might die, the idea is to get it in range of +2 Psychic Fangs for Metagross. So as long as I do that, I don't super care. Porygon 2 can fortunately break the Shuka off the Arch, so we probably do just want to be Heavy Slam, Psy Fangs, Earthquake, Agility, and that's a fine set. Shaman wants a grass move. Is that grass move Seed Flare, or is it something else? Could do some Leech Seed bullshit, right? for the muck if it comes. Because chipping that guy down could be good. Actually, I might like need to do something like that because muck's a huge problem. Dude, I don't think I'm gonna win this mock. I think John has a great matchup here if he brings the things that I think he should. But like a sub Leech Seed kind of thing, it would still lose to the Ogerpon. Like, oh, dude, Shaman sucks, man. I could do Air Slash, I guess, but Jesus, man. Shaman is so bad. But I just don't have another way. I guess I could put Thundy here. I can just try it. Should I just try it? Because Thundy's not the worst. But I don't get the helmet that way. I would have to go helmet Thundy, and then I'm getting chipped by the rocks. But I do have Defog Talon. I really need this chip on Pert. Is the big thing. I think that if I do Sub Leech Seed, Seed Flare, Air Slash, Shaman. That is so dick. I think that's so bad. It requires prediction to do anything. And like you have 2 great U-turn mons potentially coming. And the output is so mediocre, especially into Arch, dude. But Leech Seed could make that annoying. I don't know. It's tough. Sunday doesn't actually make me any better into Muck. Maybe I'll just do this, because I actually could just Leech Seed stall it. Leech Seed, Sub, Seed Flare, Air Slash. Oh my god, this is so fucking ass, man. So ass. Is it Seed Flare or is it Giga Drain? Oh, it's so Giga Drain, actually. I don't want to give the Spit F boost to Contrary and M. Or the special defense drop versus the Ogre Pawn. Both those guys are scary as hell. It's definitely Giga Drain. The health will be appreciated too. Knock off P-Jab. Strain Punch. Sneak? Maybe? I think Drain Punch, Shadow, Sneak is fair. Definitely Sneak. I'm just not. I'm a little bit unsure about Drain Punch, but having a move to hit Arch could never really hurt that much, and heal it back. I was thinking about Pain Split, but I don't know. I don't really think it's gonna come into play as much as Drain Punch would, at least. Sure. Talonflame is the only moves that I need to get done. Defog, U-turn. I think I've decided, by the way, that I do want Analytic on the Porygon 2. I think the damage will be helpful. Defog, U-turn. Brave Bird, Blitz, Wisp. I don't think Roost comes into play much. Maybe it should because I'm a bulkier team. Yikes, 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 yikes. Maybe I don't need... Maybe I don't need Brave Bird. Because I'm never going to stay in on Pert anyway, and the thing that I'm scared of most out of an AM is Terra Electric, and Flare Blitz will do way more to that. So I could do Flare Blitz Roost or Flare Blitz Wisp. I think Flare Blitz, no matter what, is what I need. I should probably be Roost to be safe, right? It would feel a little bit foolish to not be Roost. Wisp could be really good though. I'm gonna go Wisp. I think that makes sense. Wisp gets a lot of value everywhere versus this team. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna check the OBS. We've got an hour and 8 minutes or 9 minutes, so let me just do EVs and I'm gonna call it there, and we'll see if we can actually beat John. So Porygon 2. Gulp. I guess let's look into Terra Blast Calcs. Porygon 2 versus Enamorous. And I'm gonna say that you're Assault Vested. And you're Terra Electric. Terra Blast. It's crazy because even with Terra Ground Porygon 2, I still think this thing is so threatening. Okay, this is quite convenient. But this is Trace, and I want Analytic, which makes us do a lot. That's good. This could actually kill after Rocks in like base form. So that maybe I put some special attack in there. Let's check out Archelidon. Oh my god, Porygon 2. Can you chill the fuck out, man? If I go modest on you... Whoa, dude. This thing's nuts. How much does that do to the Enamorous? Assault Vest. Electric. Dude. Holy crap. That's like a likely kill after rocks. Porygon 2 might be him. Oh my god. Iron Hands? Sheesh, man. Yeah. Maybe I just go minus speed nature just to get this, but I think even without the analytic boost, like if I take him down some, yeah, I'll still have a 2 at KO. So if he does underspeed the Porygon 2 for whatever reason, this is still nice, and if I could take less damage overall, that'd be good. But he could Drain Punch it back, so maybe the analytic boost will still come into play there. Yeah, I mean, I can just go max Spadef, modest analytic, and that would kind of work. I should calc. Alright, how much does Specs-a-Nam do? This is why is Mystical Fire doing the most? What's going on? What? Oh, over 2 turns. I'm dumb. Moonblast. This is what I'm looking for. No. I do think rocks could be up, but I'm worried more so about what was it? I don't know. I can't think. This is fine. I'm fine with this calc. After like 2 rounds of rocks, with one of them being consumed by Terra Ground, like I think I'd be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna go max HP, derp, max Spadef, 4, modest, derp. Why not? Right? Annihilate. Annihilate wants to outspeed the Arch. However, how much speed will the Arch run? Well, the Arch probably wants to outspeed Adamant, Adamant Metagross, because Metagross is a genuine offensive threat. So that would hit 239, I believe. So he could hit 240. Fuck it, let's just keep hitting 241, bro. This is 230. This does hit 239, right? Yeah. Let's just keep hitting 241 versus John, bro. Why not? We want. Do we want max HP, or do we want? It's just like more. I don't even know. I think we just go max HP and not worry too much about it. I don't have like too much time in this recording, at least. How much am I doing with Drain Punch to stuff? Annihilate. This is uninvested versus mostly FizzDef. Let me see versus... yeah, I think he could be FizzDef Arch. I don't think he'll be Choppal Arch ever. What is this damage? Oh, dude, over 2 turns is making me go crazy. Stop that. We're gonna be 241. Oh, that's not how it works, but whatever. Drain Punch does that much. We could want some investment. Iron Hands, show me, show me, show me. Jesus Christ, is that fucking real? I mean, we're chipping with helmet at least, but is that real? That's insane. Cyclizar. Is there any benchmark I should hit with this, or should I just go max like FizzDef with the rest of this? Archelidon. Nope. Archelidon. Physically defensive. Yeah, so like Draco Meteor. Or oh, this is careful though. which we might be. We might go careful. Jeez. Yeah, it's hard to EV this. I don't really know what I'm looking for here. Iron Hands again. So this is a booster energy attack, Iron Hands. Clicking Thunder Punch. We don't want to die to that in one hit for sure. John has clicked Supercell Slam before, but I think there's no way he's going to run that into Garchomp. He did it into a Tinglu. He's not going to do it into Garchomp. It makes no sense. If he does do that, I'm going to tell him not to. What are we looking at right now? Let's take this out and then let's do this and oops, let's do this and let's do Impish. Like I could do that. I guess that works, right? Sorry guys, I'm a bit psychotic when it comes to EVing sometimes. Okay. So this technically is more optimal than what I was doing before. Yeah, I think after that it goes a little bit wonky. 56 216 with the Impish nature. Covers that. And I would want kind of the remainder to go in Spit F for the Arch Aludon. God, I hate that the first one in the calc is that. We're not this. Draco, let's say over or twice. Sheesh, okay. 241. This is driving me insane. How much is it? 100, okay. How much do I need to live 2 of these? 64. I could live it after rocks as well. Let's just make sure I'm actually doing that correctly. Not a KO. What? Okay. Huh, so rocks is weird. I don't think it's 93. I don't think it's 6.5. I think it's a little less. That's weird. All right, 124. Oh wait, this is 216. Dude, I'm dumb. Okay, that makes sense too because it's a stat jump. So 124. All right, this is our fucking spread. Deal with it. Talonflame. Talonflame should outspeed Cyclizar, I think. I'm not getting much out. I could Wisp it, right? It should outspeed Cyclizar. We will be Jolly Nature. Cyclizar, I think the fastest it would ever go is creeping Scarf Prim, which would be 261. So let's just hit 263, which is the stat jump. I don't think there's any reason to go any faster than that. So that's pretty safe. How is our damage into Ogerpon? Or actually, how is our damage into Enamorus, actually? Talonflame with Flare Blitz. Impish. Okay. No investment is getting a clean to a KO. It's not quite because you're going to run a little bit HP. This outspeeds Chomp. You put the rest in HP. That's the bulkiest he can go. Let's put a little bit of attack to two-shot that because I think that's actually kind of important. Okay, so 20, two-shots that. What about Ogerpon? After rocks, it's a likely KO. We're just going to put 20 in the attack. Put the rest into HP and then physical bulk. Yep, that makes sense to me. Muck, we want to check the Dio, but I don't think we need any EVs for that. We want to let's say kill the ogre pawn after rocks, muck, Alola, poison jab. Yeesh, that's not that much damage. I do think it's going to be an HP invested ogre, so this might not matter, but if it's like some kind of Swords Dance Rock Tomb bullshit, like I would want to cover that, kinda. Either way. Alright, well, and I think it's more important to live, I guess. This is over 2 turns. Why is it over 2 turns? I didn't select this, did I? I did. I totally did. I totally did. It can be 252 HP because we're boots, but damn, that's a lot of physical investment, but I think it's worth it. Living 2 cudgels if we're not going to a KO with that. All right, so 252, 88, I think it was, right? Yes, and the rest in this. Careful. Do we want speed? There are other base 50s. I don't really think it's important to outspeed them at all, actually. So this is fine for sure. I could go more attack invested. I don't know how worth it is. I think this is fine. Shaman. Arch. I could just hit that 241 again, right? Yeah, fuck it. I mean, in this situation, it actually would be good to outspeed Jolly Pert if he's a weirdo, but surely you're not a weirdo. John? You're not a weirdo, right? Rest in Fizzbulk, I think. I mean, I don't see this thing making too much progress on the team. Maybe I should calc versus the Swampert just in case. Swampert versus Shaman. I do think he's going to be Fizz Def here for the Metagross, so this makes sense. Giga Drain. Always Okos. Just kidding. This is max special attack. Jesus, Shaman, you suck. Wow. You need a lot of investment. That's really sad, man. That's really sad. Okay. I mean, I don't think this matters too much. Let's check out Ogerpon damage. Ogerpon. And we're using Air Slash. After rocks, this looks like... this is boots. Well, let's just imagine it's not boots for a second. Very good chance to... Okay. And this is what's Okoing Swampert. Okay, man. I mean, I guess we can do this. It's fine. 132 special attack. It seems practical. We go the rest in HP and physical defense. I don't think we're missing out on too much bulk here, so it's fine. And Metagross. This guy's important. We do want to outspeed whatever the Dio's gonna hit. I think it is always capable of outspeeding Dio with Jolly. Dude, how fast are we willing to go, man? I don't know. How fast are we willing to go? Either way, it's gonna be max attack either way. What are you gonna do with Dio? Because Dio hits 504, and Metagross I know with Jolly hits 524 after the +2. Don't ask me why I know that. So if I'm like adamant, 478, he could try to hit 479. I could hit 480 and hard call it, right? Deoxys, speed, 476, 77, 78, 79. Yeah, he can hit 479. I'm just gonna hit 480, I think. I think that's pretty fair. I can also, yeah, I think it's fair. So 479 for me is how much investment? Oh my god, come on. Dude, why is this not working? What's going on? There we go. 480 is what I want to hit. 172. Okay. That hits 240. You know what? We're going to hit that magic number again. How does that keep working out? Okay, this is a stat jump. Fuck it, right? How does that keep working out? We're just above PERT is what we want to hit. That's so funny. All right, rest in HP. So this is the team that I made. I think it's bad. Straight up, I do think it's bad. I tried my best to make something that can win. I don't know if Vandy... I mean, Vandy needs to pull something out of her ass. I don't know. This looks rough to me. I do have a win condition. I do have a way to play the game at least. So we'll see if I can beat John in the mock. But I think realistically, John's got this as long as he preps with some pretty obvious ideas with the hazard stack, spit F Ogre Pawn for the prim, and Electric Enam, and then you do something to counteract the Metagross. Yeah, so basically just play well with John. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later. We're gonna get to the mocks in a moment. See ya. Okay, we are here in the game. He brought good stuff. This is what I wanted. This is a Fairy and Amorous, which is fine. Rough for Vandy. I hope this doesn't flop too hard. Okay. Yeah. So this is bad. Okay. Fairy and M is whatever. We have the we expected all this. Like, it's not like we had anything good into it. Talonflame's a fine lead, I guess. We do have the Shaman, of course. We have the Defog and stuff. We don't want to lead bad into Fairy and Am, for sure. For sure. We can lead Porygon 2 as well. But if he leads Pert, we also have to pivot out. We just don't get that little bit of information with U-turn. But he could lead Dio and then just blow my ass up, right? There's also lead Muck, same situation, have to pivot out on the Pert. I think it's between Muck and P2. Yeah, it's between these two. Let's lead P2, I think, because it's more of a guessing game for him, I think. But Muck doesn't have to switch out on Dio. I think I would have to kind of switch out on Dio. Also want to switch out on yeah. Let's just lead Muck and see what happens. Yay! I got the lead right. Nice. Kind of have a free knock here. As free as it gets. Fuck it, right? Boom. Do your worst, John. Yeah. I think that was good reasoning for me, at least. Yeah, there's the Pert. Knocking off the Pert's very good for me. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Rindo Berry. Hello. Okay. We just go into our check, which is Shaman. We can click sub. Yeah. Stupid pile of idiots. So true, John. Spoken like a true man, for real. Let's just go Shaman. Fuck it. He's probably gonna get up his rocks. Yeah. We can click sub here. I don't think the Ogre Pawn wants to fit Encore. I think I'd prefer to fit Taunt. He won't stay in either, and I don't know what he's gonna go into. Well, let's just click sub, right? Fuck it. Iron Hands. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. We just click lead. He could be Volt Switch, but Volt Switch doesn't break my sub. Why does he go hands? Why does he go hands? Alright, let's just quickly see. Yeah, Ice Punch. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I honestly don't mind staying in here. Like, really at all. I can click Substitute even. Let's just click Giga Drain and not go crazy. Yeah, he Volt switches. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we got Chip on hands, we got Chip on Pert. It's just he got Rocks up, and that is genuinely a problem. Somewhat. It's not the biggest problem for me, but it's a problem. It's not so bad. It is a problem for Porygon too, I think. Because I'm not Terra Grounded yet. That Chip will really feel impactful over the course of the game. There's Dio. Yeah, he's gonna do his stacking stuff. We're gonna go Muck again. Hopefully poison the Pert this time. I think. I think he's gonna. I just wonder if he can kill my Talon, but I don't have Roost on him, so I should probably keep him safe. Let's go Muck. Yeah, there's the spikes. Yeah. Very scary. Very scary. This is what I want him to do, for sure. It's also what I prepped for. I can Poison Jab here. I can also just Knock again and hope that I poison the Pert. I can just click Knock again, kinda. It did a lot to the Pert. Getting the Pert out of the way is good. Like, every time... Okay, that's annoying that I don't poison there, but it's kind of fine. We can go Shaman. Shaman is really just here for the Pert, so the fact that Pert is getting chipped is good for me. It means I don't really care that Shaman's getting super chipped. I just need to get these off before P2 has to come onto the field. So yeah, here's Shaman. Earthquake, that is kind of fine. I could Air Slash predicting Ogerpon here if I want. I could. I do think he's gonna switch. Yeah, fuck it. Let's Air Slash. Yeah. Boom. Nice. Decent damage. Yeah. It's okay. We can go Talonflame on. We can go Talonflame on this and try to defog. Synthesis. Yep. All right. We can try to defog next turn. We can't right now because we can activate Defiant. So we need to Wisp. Okay. That's okay. This turn I will defog. I think I can't afford to have these stay up. Please don't hit me too hard. Oh shit. Yep, that's good. Okay. Yep. I should have defogged last turn, I guess. Very nice. Let's get this Terra off with Porygon 2, I think. Very nice. Yeah, that's good. That's just good stuff right there. I could T-Wave here. I'll just Terra Blast though. Play it safe. Yeah, that's good. I think me defogging that turn could have been nice. It's just like he's a Defiant Ogerpon that potentially has Rock Tomb. I think that's just unsafe. He could also go hard into Hammerus if I'm not careful. Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I should have. It's not like I would have had a fantastic pivot into this anyway. Like, I think P2 maybe could have just taken it, but yeah, P2 could have taken it. So if I did get that off and P2 got in and I was still, I think I'm in a relatively, like, as good of a position as I really could be. Draco. Ow. This will kill? Yep. Bye. Okay. Might have not wanted that to kill, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, there's Dio. He's gonna get his bullshit up again. I will just recover here. Arch is dead, and hands. I think I'm a little bit okay. It's tough. It's tough. I think I need P2 health here. It's just I'm letting him get so many spikes up here. What I can do is Terra Blast once and then recover. Okay, there's knock. Yeah, he crits me. Yeah, that's huge damage. P2 being alive actually isn't like super important anymore because the Arch is dead. And judging by that damage, he might be dead to sneak. No, he's not. But do I think he's gonna Psycho Boost me here? How much do I care? That's a real question. I'll just recover. Ice Beam, yeah, that kills me. Yeah, a low P2 is not really helpful to me. I should probably go Muck here. He can get a spike off. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Knockoff will hopefully poison the Pert this time. I haven't gotten it in two attempts. Okay, we just kill the Dio, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sashly Dio, nice. He'll probably get his rocks up here. Well, he might not, because it's late game and I don't have many rock weak Pokemon. I will just go Shaman, play it safe. Yep. Air Slash will put him in range of everything I need, so I can kind of just click that. Boom. Nice prediction. Let's go. He'll probably Synthesis. We can go Muck. Yeah, he knocks. Very fair, very fair. Okay, I just need to position my Agility Metagross to win here. That's my way to win. Poison Jab here. Get that poison. Yeah, baby. Okay. Sneak doesn't kill though. Poison Jab actually did more than it should have. Whoa, hold on. Maybe it does kill. No, that looks like a high roll max HP. It doesn't kill. We just go Shaman. Yeah, fair enough. And I can go into Muck again. Yep, Muck again. And sneak him. Nice. It's a closer game than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. It's looking actually kind of good. I just need to get the agility off with Metagross and I win. It looks like. Maybe he Scarfinam, but I don't even know if that outspeeds me. It probably does. Probably does. Yeah, if he Scarfinam, I think he wins. Because he can log Earth Power, sack something, and then log Moonblast for the last two. Or at least for Annihilate, because I think that Muck's going to get chipped pretty soon. Depends. Actually, I don't know if he wins even with Scarfinam. We'll see. It might be too many sacks he's got to make here, because I want to go Annihilate. I don't think he'll Volt Switch. We'll see if he does. If he... Yeah, we go up here. He Drain Punch is nice. I don't think rocks help me right now. I could Encore. Nice. And then he is terrified. I could also double muck. it's a tough decision because Rage Face isn't very strong right now versus the Enamorous. I'll double muck. Fuck it. Yeah, got his ass. Okay. P-jab. Boom. Poison. Fucking muck. Come on, man. What's the deal, bro? I think he's in range, though. And if I agility with Metagross, I will win. So maybe I just predict that he'll Volt Switch here and don't get blended. Okay, Supercell slammed. That's fine. Maybe I should just keep... Dude, this muck can't poison for shit. Yeah, I don't know how useful Annihilate is, really. The sneak could be helpful. Let's just do this, because realistically it is just he said 1 sec. Yeah, I don't think I'll just Drain Punch. Fuck it. I think the sneak could end up coming clutch. We'll see. It's a good game anyway. I do see that he can't whirlwind out my Metagross. So we'll see if he can beat agility. I'm not sure what he's what the Enamorous is, but Fairy, like, Electric wouldn't have necessarily saved him here, but it would at least make a mind game. Fairy gives me some info on what this Enam is. Like, I know I can just click Heavy Slam and pray that he can't actually get enough chip on Metagross long term. But yeah, John's build is decent for sure. I'm not going to change much of this. I actually like the Electric Shot Arch. That's super cool for the Talon. The Enamorous is the main point of contention for me. The Hands is maybe fine. And I like the Ogerpon for sure. Yeah. It's so tough though, because I don't think that Vandy will bring this, but like I couldn't find anything else that actually works. So like, what am I just not going to bring? What I think works? The main reason I'm clicking Drain Punch right now and not Rage Fist is you know what? Maybe instead of rocks I should have just been Ice Punch. That would be good here. I probably should have done that. I was really deliberating it. I just figured rocks might be helpful for the Enam, but he never, and I really never wanted to come in. And he's doing his job now, which is being a backup answer to Hands. But yeah, the Porygon 2 is good. Porygon 2 did just fucking OHKO'd the arch. And also got huge damage on the Dio. Yeah, sorry about the wait, guys. John is just doing something. It ain't me. But yeah, the main reason I'm clicking Drain Punch here is I just want to make sure that Annihilate stays out of range of any other coverage for Enamorous, so that he has to click Moonblast. Okay. Yeah. So what I can do here is click Encore. And make him spam Synthesis. This is goofy. I'm just wasting his Synthesis, I guess. I'm surprised he didn't switch. I'll just Rage Fist again. His Encore will end. I will Rage Fist again. I think he will switch this time. Oh, okay. Ooh, like the Rage Fist animation is so cool. Yeah, I don't care about Annihilate. I'm just gonna keep clicking Rage Fist. Like this is not a problem for me. The only thing I need to make sure I prevent from happening is him getting an Enamorous and like clicking Earth Power to kill my Annihilate. That's the only thing I need to make sure. He goes Enamorous on the Rage Fist, but he has to click Moonblast. So, do I care? I don't think so. Yeah, let's just click Rage Fist. Oh, he dekisses. Okay. This will do some damage then. Cool. I can click rocks in case he doesn't kill me. Okay. Is that Specs? I should calc that for sure. Draining Kiss, Scarf, Modest. Can't do that much. He could be Scarf, but we will just, regardless, click Agility with Metagross and try to win the game. Yep, and we will click Psychic Fangs, right? Always? Yep, because we saw the Encore, so we want to make sure that we don't lose to Heavy Slamming into Iron Hands. And I do believe I win. Oh, sick. Fortunately, I'm Encored in Psychic Fang, so I think I will still win. Boom. Ooh, Drain Punch will heal a lot. No, it won't. GG. Wow, I actually managed to win this. That's pretty funny. I don't know if we're gonna do another mock, so I think it mostly didn't matter. It's fine. Yeah, so I'm surprised I managed to win. We thought out everything on the paste. It all made sense to me. And it won, even though there's no Garchomp, there's no Terra Thundi, there's no Prim, but it all made sense to me. So we won. I will get back to you with whatever's next, whether it be me rebuilding the team or the actual battle. Thanks for watching. See ya.
All right, we are back. I couldn't catch this game live, but John was nice enough to send me the video before he uploaded it, so we're just going to react to that just to see how everything went and put some closure to this whole mock thing. So
Boys, welcome to BUBL Week 3.
My bad. So we see Vandy's team over here. Metagross, yeah. Okay, so it's everything I brought, except actually it's not even close. So I brought Alolan Muck, Shaman, and Annihilate, and Vandy brought Garchomp, Terra Thundurus, and Primarina. Now the Terra types are Ghost, Porygon 2, and Ground Thundy. To be fair to Ground Thundy, the Terra Blast does give you coverage for both hands and Arch in one slot, but I still don't think I love this set because it still has to answer to Ogerpon, which was already a bit of an issue, and Deoxys still kind of kills it, and like you still need Electric move, Terra Blast, Ground. You still need a move for the Ogerpon, and you might still want Focus Blast. If you can't fit Thunder Wave, then Deoxys is still just going to outspeed and Ice Beam you or Psycho Boost you. So I still don't really love this set, even though it does cover stuff a bit. And then the Porygon 2 is Terra Ghost, which if I'm John, leads me to believe that he's going to try to get up hazards. And his usual hazard setter is the Garchomp. So this is kind of like what I thought wouldn't work. Now, I know the result of this game, and I know turn 1, and I know nothing else about this game. So there's a reason why I'm saying I didn't think that the Garchomp Spike Stack stuff would work. But let's just get into it. Overall, the Primarina is good. I didn't think it could fit. So what does things that Vandy bench mean for the matchup? Now, the Alolan Muck means that there's no real good lead into Deoxys. No Shaman means Pert is really annoying. And no Annihilate means that the combination of Arch plus Hands could start getting really hard to defensively answer. So even though Spikes plus a Terra Ghost Mon is generally good into John's team, not only do I think that the Garchomp has a really hard time getting up the hazards, but I'm not sure that Vandy's equipped for a long-term game. But I could absolutely be wrong. Let's see. Dio into Garchomp lead. This is what John wants. You have a pretty free Ice Beam. We assume that this Garchomp wants to go for a Spike or a Rock because it's a Terra Ghost Porygon 2. We click Ice Beam here, and we don't even get to find out because the Garchomp gets frozen. Now that's obviously fucking incredible. John looks really happy. Look at his happy face. That is obviously incredible. That's pretty much Vandy's entire like at least half of like Vandy's entire game plan is out the fucking window. You don't even get your rocks up. You don't get anything. And John gets greedy with the spikes, which is so fucked up. Wow. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't risk like too many other thaw turns. So yeah, I do agree with this Ice Beam here for sure. Even though more spikes would have been nice. The second spike isn't really great, and if then he unthaws, then he gets what he wants. The Primarina comes in and takes spikes plus Ice Beam. I don't know what that reveals really, but we don't have a fantastic pivot into Prim, but we still have the Sash on Deoxys, so maybe we're okay. What? Oh yeah, we have the Ogerpon. So okay, that we have a very specially defensive Ogerpon, so that's definitely specs. I don't know why he's hovering Encore. I think it's just his first slot. Yeah, he could just synth this off. I don't think the Prim would ever Moonblast again, really. Yeah. So John is pretty much just getting Spike Chip all around right now. Metagross coming in early means that it could be a Rocks variant, and then the Garchomp was just Spikes. But I obviously thought an Agility Metagross was a little better. Arch coming in hard on the Metagross. It's never clicking Earthquake here, so I think it's pretty valid. Knock off. Okay, no more Power Herb. That kind of sucks. No Stamina Boot. Wait, were we sturdy? That's interesting. I don't know if he meant to be sturdy. I don't think he did. But we still get a free Dark Pulse. Chipping this is very nice. And we'll get to see what this is. Culberberry, Assault Vest, what have you. Okay, withdraws. My little soap pop. That is Porygon 2. Okay. Oh, we were stamina. I don't even know. I guess I just fucking ignored stamina boost. I might be stupid. Okay, gets a stamina boost. If it ever Terra Ghost, it is weak to Dark Pulse, but even still, it won't be doing too much. You can always go Dio and knock it off. Yeah, that's pretty fair. You can also go AV Hands and force the Terra out. But you don't actually have to do that. So, this is pretty fair. Dio is expendable. Here you got to spike up and froze the fucking Garchomp. So, in a great position, obviously. T-Wave in, and again, he misses. I don't think that really matters too much, especially like short term at least. Maybe in the future, Talonflame picking it off would matter, but Dio, even with para would outspeed pretty much like almost everything here, except for the Thundy and the Talonflame. So I don't think that's really too much of a problem, or like if that did land, as long as he didn't get full parried. Knocking off the Eviolite is obviously really good. And Thunder Wave, yep. Okay. So seeing no cycles, Vandy is obviously hesitant to click the Terra button, which is pretty fair. Being weak to Dark after he just revealed Dark Pulse on his Archaludon would be a little silly. Taunt, and we see the Recover, yep. Very nice. Okay, I mean, you can kind of just go... Yeah, Ogrepon's kind of fair. You're very specially defensive. That's okay. Yeah, that's fair. At a certain point, I would just prefer this Terra to be out, because if it is, then the Thundurus is completely useless, because I'm assuming it has Terra Blast Ground. So, like, I'm going to pause it for a second. I think John is making, like, all his plays are absolutely fine. He's doing great. The one thing is identifying what the opponent wants to Terra. You don't have a Cycle Star on your roster, so the whole point of P2 was to spin block. I'm assuming. I think it's pretty safe to assume, because offensively, Ghost doesn't really help P2 very much. It gets you a stab Shadow Ball, that's about it. So I think it's pretty obvious that they're gonna Terra the ground Thundurus at this point, because the only way that Thundurus would ever get use out of Terra Ground is with Terra Blast. So it's very likely going to be the thing that they want to Terra. So with that said, you can just go into Assault Vest Iron Hands, which can take literally anything that regular Porygon 2 wants to do, and force it out. You can click Volt Switch because the Garchomp is fucking frozen, and it's super free. Or you can just click Ice Punch, predicting the Garchomp to get sacked, and just pick it off. I think it's pretty fair. But what he's doing is also fine. It's just a little bit slower and less forcing, but it's totally fine. So that free, that is Talonflame. Yeah, of course. Synthesis up. So we'll see if Vandy is psychotic enough to go for the Defog here. I think it's quite likely. I mean, Nexus completely disrespected the anti-Defog abilities that we have. So okay, Wisp. Yeah. Okay, that is the correct play from Vandy. That is super unfortunate that they missed. This is a devastating game of luck right now. There's the Defog. Yep. That is how you're supposed to play it, is wait for the switch in to not be one of those two in order to Defog. But the rocks go up, and now you kind of have to... I mean, you can Defog again, I guess, but then you're definitely going to take a huge flip turn. Clicks Will-O-Wisp, which is a fine play, but now the rocks are staying up. Flip turn is coming in, and Dio is also coming in, probably. Oh wait, no, it's paralyzed. My bad. Yeah, Arch is quite fair here. We don't have the power herb for Electroshot, unfortunately. He still clicks it, which is kind of fair. I think Draco might kill, but we have not really much info on the spread. So I don't mind this, because the Garchomp is, of course, frozen. The question is, if he goes Garchomp here, do you actually risk the Unthaw or not? I think, I mean, at that point, you've committed 2 whole turns to Electroshot. You just risk it for the biscuit. Okay. I mean, if he does stay in, it does have to be Earthquake, so I actually don't like mind this. But yeah, it got frozen. A +1 Arch would have been cool, but it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Now Fairy boosted Moonblast is absurd here. The Metagross is chipped, Talonflame is chipped, and we have the Terra Fairy boost. There's absolutely no reason not to sack the Garchomp here, and I think that's what Vandy did. I sometimes don't remember if Terra goes before switching, but I think it goes after it. Yeah. Garchomp is down. No spikes. No rocks either. We have Defog on the Talon. Yeah, like that's the other thing. It's like I think that this goes P2 for like half for spin block, and I think that this was a spike shot, but we have Defog Talonflame. Because realistically, you did need Defog Talonflame. Like this is a correct bring. I just don't think these are. I think a more offensive Chomp was more valid. I didn't even bring Chomp, but I can't really confidently say that's correct because it's Garchomp, of course. But even with the freeze, this would have been a pretty unstable game plan. Because John's offense is very good, and you would be defogging away your own spikes. So if you're not prepared to play with spikes and rocks up, I don't totally understand this idea. But to be completely fair, I did consider this heavily for a long time. It's just I didn't think there was really an avenue to do this. Maybe if the Garchomp didn't get frozen, we could have seen something happen there. I think it would have been hard to pull off anyway. So Fairy and Moonblast, you have to go either Metagross or Talonflame here. Goes Metagross. Oh, it's actually not that chipped. It only took one spike. That's pretty fair. You could also go Prim, but we know this Prim is Specs, so it might actually not be able to take it after 2 rounds of hazards. But yeah, Metagross coming in. Who did we go? Okay, we went Arch. Yep. Trailblaze. Okay. I don't think there's any reason to run. I guess there's the Swampert, but that the risk just that Trailblaze brings just happened there, where it hits into Arch and gives it the stamina boost, and now you can't actually break through it. I understand that it hits Pert, but the better way to actually get an endgame victory with this set is to click Agility, realistically. But this is pretty cool. I guess this isn't totally meant for endgame because it's come out pretty early twice now. But even still, I don't really think this is fantastic, I guess. You also need 3 Trailblazes to get faster than Scarf and M versus Agility where you only need 2. And by the way, that was actually relevant in the mock that we did. I actually could have lost that if he had clicked Moonblast on my Annihilate. But it would have led to a 50-50. There is no 50-50 if it's Trailblaze and not Agility. So yeah, you are pretty scared, I guess, of the weakness policy, but you have a stamina boost here, so I think you can kind of just body press and then do that into Dark Pulse. Like, that's kind of fair, isn't it? Oh wow, Jesus Christ. Earthquake, yeah, you get another stamina boost. I think you just live another one. You click Draco. I don't like that. That did do a good bit though. Now you get to click Body Press. Yeah, I think Body Press into Dark Pulse would have just killed this thing. But I kind of understand why he did that. A little bit. He like, in case something went wrong, I guess he wanted the most amount of initial damage because. Yeah. Okay. Oh my fucking god. I'm so sorry, guys. My computer is so fucking horrible. Yeah. Now Body Press doesn't kill. I think Body Press into Dark Pulse was the way. But you do have the helmet, so that's good that you have the helmet. There's just absolutely no way he clicks Trailblaze. That would be such a psychotic thing to do. And the helmet isn't really revealed on Pert, so I do think I agree with this play that he's hovering. Okay. What was clicked? Earthquake. Okay. Oh wait, yeah, he's clicking Earthquake. It's not Contact. Okay, I don't think I agree with this then. Yeah, there's the Trailblaze. Oh, we live. Okay. Rocks go up. Interesting. Okay. We only have rocks up because the Talon defogged, right? I do think this game is currently a little bit closer than it really had to be, but realistically, I don't think the Thundy can fit. Oh yeah, I remember this happened. Realistically, I don't think the Thundy can fit T-Wave, so Enamorous kind of just cleans up 3 of these guys since the Porygon 2 is knocked off, and it's just a Talonflame in the way, and this actually might die depending on the spread. Enamorous is kind of just that strong with Terra Fairy. He did Terra Fairy earlier, but they reset, of course. Okay, well, switching out means something dies here. It is the Porygon 2. Takes rocks. Let's see if it dies in 1, because this thing is no Eviolite right now. Let us see. Moonblast. Show him an M. Wow, unfortunate. Yeah, and that trace there, like with it gaining the special attack boost off Moonblast, was why I was considering Trace so heavily. I did just end up deciding that an analytic was better, but I think Trace is actually super valid for reasons like this. It happens like a bit throughout John's team, so I don't actually mind Trace on the P2, especially on Terra Ghost, where it's not like intended to get a bunch of damage, just kind of sit there and block the spin. But yeah, if you're not willing to stay in with Talonflame, I think Enam's just going to claim all these. It might need a little bit more chip on Prim, but this is pretty much it. Yeah, Prim in, takes rocks. This could be dead, but seeing as the Porygon 2 wasn't dead from lower health, I think it's what he's doing here is quite safe. Doesn't he have a free little low health sack there? Yeah, he does. Alright, good. This is the correct play for sure. It's slower than everything and not useful to you at all unless you're playing for diff. Psychic Noise. Pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, you can go this. You can even go hands because you know this is specs and it just clicked Psychic Noise. I would honestly go hands here. I see no downside. This is fair too. Oh. Okay. Now this won't lose him the game ever. But this is a kind of play that I don't like to see. We are overcomplicating this endgame kind of for no reason. We know it's specs and it just locked into Psychic Noise. Like even though like if it's not Liquid Voice, then hands is weak to Psychic Noise, but like we're assault vested and I think we're like max BDF, like, and it's non-stab. We can force a kill here, and if the Prim ever switches out, then it's weak and then it's dead to the Moonblast, right? This is overcomplicating it, and if the opponent is insane enough to click Psychic Noise again, we could be dead to a crit. So I actually really do hate this play. Hands isn't like really that useful anymore, especially since on the Talonflame you went Enamorous because it was actually correct, because it is just dead to 2 Moonblasts. So yeah, I actually do really hate this play. I'm assuming it works out, but like that was such an overcomplication. I actually really hate that. Yeah, see, he clicks Psychic Noise again. That looks like not dead to a crit, but like look how we just took damage on Enamorous for literally no reason, and we were probably gonna have to switch out again here because we switched out before because we didn't kill. I'm assuming we still don't kill. Yeah, so we have to switch out again. So we're going back to Ogerpon. Yeah, I think if you're gonna go Ogerpon here, you literally just click Cudgel, because I guess we don't have Rock Tomb on this set, but what you could have done if you did have Rock Tomb is just click Cudgel, and if they go Talonflame to try to defog the rocks away, you click Rock Tomb. So it's either he kills you, and he doesn't defog the rocks away, you get an Am back in, or he defogs, gives you a Defiant boost, and you kill the last 3 with Ogerpon with Rock Tomb, Cudgel. So that would have been a better trap. We didn't have Rock Tomb, so I kind of understand the double at that point, but we want to avoid unnecessary doubles when we're in the lead. We don't want to lose to hacks or just not analyzing the end game correctly, you know? But I think everything will be fine here. He's choice locked into Psychic Noise. Yeah, now he switches out into the Talonflame. Yeah, we kind of invited outplay, kind of for no reason. Not to nitpick too hard, because I do think John wins this game. But we could have avoided this situation. Yeah, if you're not confident that you kill the Prim and you die, you should go Hands, because it's locked into Psychic Noise, and Hands picks one up every single time. You could even click Volt Switch, because that will put Prim into range, and it will also pivot out on the ground Thundy, and then you just win because the Prim took rocks, right? Yeah. Caught the Wisp. That's funny. Jesus. Yeah, now we don't really have a productive button now. Looks like this. Oh, okay. Not defogging. That's probably game then, because we're just taking chip on the Prim, and that's the only thing that lived a Moonblast and could actually kill back. So that should be game. At this point, you're kind of just playing for diff, but don't play too hard for diff. You don't want to lose your Enamorus. No reason not to synth here. Yep. That's, yeah, it's not gonna, okay. There's the Defiant boost. Yep. This is honestly like a little bit of why I wasn't super huge on Prim. I did really want to fit it, as you can see in the builder, but this interaction sucks for Vandy, like super hard, especially if this thing is Rock Tomb. That would be like the end of the game. I think Rock Tomb might kill from here at +2. I'm not totally sure. I think maybe not, but this I don't think is a bulky Prim. But yeah, Synthesis again. So he's gonna keep clicking Moonblast. There's Psychic Noise. Okay. But now the Ogerpon's over half, which means it lives a Moonblast. So you just click knockoff here. There's no reason not to. If you can just snipe the Talonflame, then Ogerpon wins. Yeah, click knockoff. Good. Okay, that's totally fine. You literally don't care. If you want to save diff, you click knockoff. No longer prevented from healing. Sure, you can set that, I guess. This part of the battle is kind of just a formality, to be honest, because we kind of all know that the Enamorus in the back just wins. Boom. And Enam is just gonna pick off the last 2, and I don't really see a better way of going about it. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Enamorus is going to pick off the last 2. Yeah. Takes rocks, which is pretty valid. Sludge Wave, yep, you do have to fit that for the Ogerpon, which... Oh, he actually goes Hands. Oh, okay. We know this is a Terra Ground Thundy, right? That's a little confusing. From both ends. Why are you going Talonflame on a Hands? You kind of just have to commit and hope that Talonflame can win the end game. This confuses me a lot. I don't really understand what's happening. The Thunderous should have just clicked Terra Blast Ground. And John should have clicked anything else. Not gonna lie. But I guess he caught the Talonflame that shouldn't have really come in for any reason. Dio in. Why are we not just cleaning the game up with an Amorous? I'm kind of confused. Okay, and now it's out of range. You can get full parried. Yeah, okay. I mean, again, oh, don't go hard in Amorous. Again, this like none of this really matters. Like unless you get super parahaxed, I don't think it matters at all. Yeah, he let his Enam get low because he pivoted on the Psychic Noise. He could lose if the Dio gets like super hacks, but I don't think he's going to. Okay. I hate to be so negative, but yeah, look, you get full parried. This was oh my god, and we're going hard in Amorous on the Roost turn. How much does this do? Oh my god. Again, really hate to be so negative. John could have lost this. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Actually, you know what? To be fair, its only attack looks like it's Overheat. And it's got like 0 special attack, but you can get crit. I just wouldn't want to play into the hacks. Yep. Talonflame's dead, and there's no way that a 50% Thunderous survives. So that is a 3-0 victory. Honestly, a little bit sloppier than I would have liked. But we take those, and Amorous got like 4 kills, I think. This was an interesting game. Key moments. What are they? I didn't even remember what happened here. Garchomp frozen, yep. Oh yeah, clicking body press into Dark Pulse to kill the Metagross would have kept your Pert alive, which would have made play versus Talonflame a bit safer. So that would have made life a little bit easier. This was kind of unavoidable to para, because I do think I'm okay with him knocking it off before going hands, but we didn't end up going hands because we didn't quite identify that Porygon 2 didn't want to Terra in this game. But I mean, honestly, I've kind of conditioned John to be fucking terrified of Terra Ghost with this team, so I don't like super blame him, but it would have been nice to take a step back and analyze that you don't have Cyclozar, so he has no reason to Terra Ghost, so you want to force the Terra Ghost so that the Thunderous can't hit your Iron Hands. That would have been a nice thought process. But yeah. Some stuff happens here. This was kind of okay. This was versus Talon. Yeah, he Electroshotted hard, which is pretty cool. I'm fine with him not staying in. Garchomp had to die. I don't even know what happened here. Yeah, this was the body press moment. Yeah, I think the biggest misplay that could have caused him to lose was this, where you have a play that forces something to die, which is going Iron Hands on the Psychic Noise locked Primarina. I honestly, looking at the matchup, I guess Psychic Noise could have been Psychic type for Muck. But to be honest, I feel like it's more likely that a Specs Primarina would have a Water type Psychic Noise. Maybe I'm wrong. I could totally be wrong. But either way, nothing will kill the hands. No Psychic Noise will kill the hands. And there's nothing here that can deal with hands. Yeah, I don't know. This made me a little nervous. Honestly, when John told me the results of this game, I thought this was like kind of a blowout. It was not. But it's totally fine. 3-0 is 3-0. We take those. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry this one took so long with the review here. But hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.